Mr. Speaker, let me now turn to the Middle East, and words I have longed to say in this House for a very long time. The surviving hostages are free. Yeah. The bombardment of Gaza has stopped. Yeah. And desperately needed aid is starting to enter as a result of the peace plan led by President Trump. We have the chance, and it is a chance, to bring a terrible chapter in history finally to a close. Mr. Speaker, it's a moment of profound relief for this House, for this nation, indeed for the whole world. But it is tempered, of course, by the knowledge that for the hostages and their families, for the loved ones of those killed on October the 7th, and for the innocent civilians in Gaza, the dead, the bereaved, the starving, this has been 2 years of living hell. I think of Avinatan Orr, who has family ties to the United Kingdom, returned at last to his family and to his girlfriend, Noah. Avinatan and Noah were taken from that music festival 2 years ago. The footage of their abduction, filmed by Hamas, evil, committed to camera. I've met Avinatan's family and heard for myself the agony that they suffered for 2 long years, waiting for him to come home. His frail condition, shocking evidence of the appalling treatment he must have endured. Mr. Speaker, we await the release of the deceased hostages. Those families need the chance to grieve, and so we demand that they return to their families immediately. Mr. Speaker, my thoughts are also with the people of Gaza, almost all of whom will have lost family members, husbands, wives, brothers, sisters, and of course, worst of all, sons and daughters. Over 20,000 children killed. I think of people like Yara Yagi, who I met a year ago, 17 years old. She was studying at college in Hertfordshire. She had lost 44 members of her family. 44. A pain that cannot be erased, even as we welcome the peace today. But, Mr. Speaker, mercifully, the killing and destruction has now stopped, and aid is beginning to enter Gaza. But, to be clear, we urgently need to see more aid and faster. All restrictions must now be lifted. The need for food, sanitation, healthcare and shelter are still acute. While the signing yesterday was historic, what matters now is implementation and getting help in as quickly as possible. The UK is providing £20 million in additional humanitarian support to get water, sanitation and hygiene products to tens of thousands of civilians across Gaza. That is in addition to the support that we're already providing. Our 2 field hospitals in Gaza have already seen 600,000 patients. And earlier this month, Mr. Speaker, we evacuated the 3rd group of sick and injured Palestinian children to the United Kingdom, and they are now being treated by the NHS. And we will work with the UN and our partners to go further and faster to provide the aid that is so desperately needed. And, Mr. Speaker, let no one be any doubt that none of this would have been possible without President Trump. This is his peace deal, delivered, of course, with President Sisi of Egypt, the Emir of Qatar, and President Erdogan of Turkey. Alongside our partners, we have also offered the UK's full support to these efforts. Mr. Speaker, we've worked behind the scenes for months with the US, Arab and European nations to help deliver a ceasefire, get the hostages out, get aid in and secure a better future for Israel, Gaza and the West Bank. I am proud of our contribution. And, Mr. Speaker, we are in a position to play this role precisely because of the approach this government takes. And, Mr. Speaker, that does include our decision to recognise the state of Palestine, because this move, taken alongside our allies, France, Canada, Australia and others, helped lead to the historic New York Declaration, where for the first time the entire Arab League condemned the atrocities of October the 7th, urged Hamas to disarm, and crucially demanded that they end their rule in Gaza. But, Mr. Speaker, let me be very clear. While we celebrate the relief of peace today, making that peace last will be no less difficult a task. Along with our allies, our absolute focus in the days and weeks ahead is the relentless implementation of this peace plan. That is no small challenge. And so we stand ready to deploy our diplomacy and expertise in three key areas. First, to support the reconstruction of Gaza. It is an immense task. The devastation defies description, and it will require a truly international effort. But we are ready to play our part, starting with a conference here in the United Kingdom this week, hosted by my honourable friend, the Minister for the Middle East. Second, to support transitional governance arrangements in Gaza. We will continue to work closely with the Palestinian Authority on the vital reforms that they need to make. And third, to help ensure security in Gaza through a ceasefire monitoring process, planning for the International Stabilisation Force. And, Mr. Speaker, drawing on our experience in Northern Ireland, we stand ready to play a full role in the decommissioning of Hamas weapons and capability. Because, as this House knows, there can be no viable future for Gaza, no security for Israel, if Hamas can still threaten bloodshed and terror. So we will work to put that threat out of action for good. Because, Mr. Speaker, this is the first real chance we've had at a two-state solution since the Oslo Accords over 3 decades ago. So we are fully committed to this, because a safe and secure Israel, alongside a viable Palestinian state, is the only way to secure lasting peace for the Middle East. And I've been clear all along, Mr. Speaker, that must be our goal. So we will work now to follow through on the 20-point peace plan and deliver it in full, including by supporting a dialogue to agree on a political horizon for peaceful coexistence. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I want to update the House on my discussions with Prime Minister Modi last week in Mumbai. India is a growing force on the world stage, on track to have the third largest economy by 2028. So, in addition to the bond we already share, the living bridge of family and history, we are also united by the future and the incredible opportunities that we see before us. That's why back in July we signed a historic trade deal, opening up new opportunities for British businesses in India. And that's why last week I led the biggest British trade delegation to India ever. We announced that more British universities are opening campuses in India, making us their leading international education provider. We're deepening the UK-India Technology Security Initiative to boost opportunities for our brilliant tech sector. And we announced new deals and investment, including in advanced manufacturing, defence, car production and Bollywood filmmaking here in the United Kingdom. These investments into the United Kingdom are worth £1.3 billion, and, Mr. Speaker, they will create 10,600 jobs. This is real change that people will see in their communities up and down the country. I set this out, Mr. Speaker, because it again speaks to our approach on the world stage, as do our deals with the United States and the EU, and the approach we bring to crises and conflicts as well. Because instead of threatening to walk away or indulging in the cheap political theatre that comes from castigating our allies that we need to deliver peace and economic stability in a dangerous, volatile world. We stay in the room, we trust in diplomacy, and we back the reputation, talent and pride of this country to change the world to the benefit of the British people. A politics of national renewal that works with our partners rather than against them, that solves problems rather than exploits them, and that believes our openness to the world is what helps us take control of our future, rather than shutting the door and hoping for the best. That is how this government delivers for Britain, Mr. Speaker, and I commend this statement to the House.